Are you looking to become a medical professional, but you're not sure if you'd prefer to be a physical therapist or a registered nurse?
Yeah, or are you already working in the medical field and you just want to learn more about the similarities and differences between a physical therapist and a nurse?
We're going to cover all that, including salary differences.
Coming right up. Welcome back, providers. This is a very special edition of The Profitable Provider. As always, my name is Will Humphreys, and today I have my sister with me.
Much younger sister.
Yes.
I'm Carly Bell, and I'm a registered nurse, and thanks so much for having me, Will. This is really cool.
So yeah, today we're doing PT versus RN. Let's kick it off with some demographics.
Well, for nursing, there are about 4 million nurses in the United States, which is a pretty huge number. We're the largest group of healthcare providers. The average age is 48 to 50, and 90% are female. I think most people would have guessed that.
Totally.
But, you know, that 10% of male nurses is a really important part.
Well, and that's growing too. The male percentage you were telling me about is growing in the nursing field.
Yes, absolutely, and so needed. Speaking of growth, the nursing profession sees a 12% increase. So we're needed now, and we're gonna be needed in the future.
Wow.
It's a pretty huge growth rate. And the average starting degree for a nurse is a baccalaureate.
Okay, very good. So on the PT side, a lot different. We have 250,000 physical therapists as of 2020. The average age, 41, so not that different from nursing. And 68.5% of physical therapists are female. Growth rate for us is only 7%, but still higher than the average for the medical industry. And the average educational level is a doctorate level. That's something that has been rolled out over the last few decades. So it is a doctorate program if you want to become a PT. So where do they work? What settings do PTs and RNs work in?
So 60% of nurses work in an inpatient setting at the hospital, and then about 18% are ambulatory.
So your family
Home
practices,
health,
that kind of stuff? Okay.
Absolutely. And then the other 12% or so is in school nursing or government nursing, so kind of little small like niche areas. But 60% are in an inpatient hospital setting.
For physical therapists, it's different. 36% of physical therapists work in the outpatient orthopedic setting. Those are those clinics that people go to when they have a back strain, they sprain an ankle, they have surgery, or they're an athletic person and they're trying to enhance their performance after an injury. Then 30% of physical therapists work with nurses in the inpatient environment. As well, we have 8% hitting home with nursing homes as well as home health settings. The remaining 18% is education and other settings like that. What are the pros and cons of being a PT and RN? Let's start with the cons and have you go first.
Okay. So I think it has to be mentioned that body fluids is a definite
Body
con.
fluids.
I think a lot of people are like, oh, how are you a nurse? I just can't believe you deal with that. For me, it hasn't been a huge issue, and I think there are areas of nursing where you can avoid that, but it's definitely not unavoidable all around.
Yeah, even if you can tolerate it, body fluids is a consistent con.
I would say that 12-hour shifts can be a con for some. It's a pretty long work day. Some people like that because then, we're only working a couple days a week, 3 days a week is full time. But 12 hours is a really long time, and that's not counting, your 30 minutes before and after doing shift report. And then another thing, I thankfully have never had to deal with this in my practice, but I know a lot of nurses can feel underappreciated, and that maybe, doctors or other mid-levels, people at the hospital are not as respectful or don't value their opinion as much as they would like. And I know that nurses feel like our opinion really matters because we are the front line. We're right there in the room with the patient.
Yeah, cons for physical therapists are a little bit different. It's extremely expensive and time consuming to become a PT. It takes 7 years to become a PT. And then reimbursement's going down, so that means a lot of PTs are working harder for the same amount of money. So those are the cons of the industries, but let's talk about the pros. What do you love about nursing?
One thing I love about nursing is the flexibility. It definitely is a type of profession where you can support a family, but also if you want to just work 1 day a week or in a flex position and just supplement income, it's a really great profession to do that in. There's a lot of years where I said, oh, I'm just a refrigerator nurse and I pick up a shift or two when we need a new appliance or something, and mostly was home with my kids. But I'm working a lot more now. So it's just really flexible in that way. And then another really great pro of nursing is that you can choose different areas, target your career into the area that you like.
What I love about physical therapy that overlaps with nursing is that it's an incredibly flexible position. It can be a job that can support a family and or supplement an income. But the main thing I love about physical therapy is the depth of the relationships that we establish. I love it when a patient comes into a clinic and says, man, I get as much emotional therapy as I do physical therapy, and that a lot has to do with the amount of time we get to spend with people. And the opportunity for growth and entrepreneurship in physical therapy is amazing, and it's projected to continue to grow and be in that. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty money. What are the salary differences between RN and PT?
Okay, so salary for a nurse is about $73,000 a year, and that's enough to support a family. And depending on where you work, what setting and what state, that can be a little bit different. There's always opportunities for, night shift differential, weekend differential, things like that. But it's about $73,000. How about PT?
Yeah, so on the PT side, it is $90,000, but that's an exaggerated number since most PTs are in the outpatient orthopedic setting. That isn't what most outpatient PTs make. If you'd like to learn more about that, please click on the card that's coming up right now, and that will tell you all about that field. But $90,000 includes these other settings that I mentioned before that typically pay higher. So that's the salary differential between PT and RN. Lastly, PT and RNs. What is better? Carly, what do you think?
Well, of course I'm going to say nursing. I definitely do not feel like I made a mistake in becoming a nurse. I am always trying to sell people on the nursing profession. I think it is just such an awesome job. But I do really appreciate the interdisciplinary relationship that we have with the physical therapist, really helping patients get to their best possible outcomes.
She said it best. Ultimately, what we're here to do is a common purpose between PT, RN, and everyone else in the medical industry to help our patients live happy, healthy lives. We can't do it without them, and together with all these medical professions, we can create an experience that can change people's lives. So, Carly, thank you so much for being on the channel.
Yeah, it was really fun to duke it out with you.
Duke it out! Brother and sister are together again. If you want more videos like this, tell us in the comments below. We'd like to do more explaining nursing and PT related videos as well.
Will wants you to share all your body fluid stories.
Yes.
He really loves body fluid stories.
Yeah, PTs, I know you got a couple out there, even if they're just your own stories. Put them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Until next time.